I took a year-long break from dating and I am breaking my silence. I'm just playing, y'all. It really wasn't that bad. Like, it literally was not that bad. I'm actually sitting here getting ready for Valentine's Day, where I'm taking myself to dinner and a concert. No, but seriously, last year I decided to take a dating hiatus. I said that I was going to break all ties with all romantic interests. No going on dates. I wasn't giving out my number. I was actively declining people who were interested in getting to know me. I just did not want any focus to be on romantic partnership at the time. I felt like I had spent more than enough time on that, and there's just time to spend on other things. I also at a point started to feel generally unfocused, just like in life, and defensive when it came to dating. Like dating from a place that felt like strategizing to protect myself, and yuck. I don't want to do that. And I feel like that's a lot of the way that everybody date. Not everybody, but a lot of people date like that right now, and it's not fun. I am not generally a person who wants to love or be loved on the defense. I don't want to try to beat you to the punch of hurting my feelings before I hurt yours, or leaving before it gets to a certain point. I also was in a relationship for a time with a person who was very selfish about their needs. And I don't mean that in the negative. I mean, he made it a point. He was determined to have them met. Now, I don't think I was the person to meet them, and that's okay. But it taught me that I should be unrelenting in the things that I need. It also highlighted a weak spot. I don't always know how to express the things that I need. I'm a very like, can you just observe me in life? Like, watch me doing things and decide where you can help. Sometimes that's efficient, other times it's not. Sometimes you have to actually be able to verbalize, hey, this is what I need from you. Give someone an actionable thing to do and go from there. I was not well versed in that, and so I took some time to be by myself on my own to decide in my life on my own, what is it that I need? What is it that another person could come into my life, my relationship, bring me partnership? What would they be bringing that I need? Here are some things that I learned. The first thing I learned is that it literally is not as lonely as I thought it was going to be. And I only assumed it would be lonely because it would be the first time in a while that I was just not entertaining anything romantic. But I don't think that I am generally a person who experiences a lot of loneliness. I'm surrounded by a lot of people. I have plenty to do. I'm not bored or whatever. So I just didn't really get as lonely as I thought I was going to. And actually, I had an action plan for loneliness. I said, if I get lonely, I'm just going to press past it, because the other thing I didn't want to do is start dating as soon as I get lonely, because then I would be dating from a place of loneliness, which reads as desperation, which will make you put up with anything. No, thank you. Another thing I learned was that I am a self-proclaimed confrontational person. I do not shy away from confrontation. I like to address issues. I don't like dropping hints. I don't like playing guessing games, all that kind of stuff. However, like I said, I'm not that good at confronting someone with my needs, and I'm very bad at confronting someone with my feelings. I'm very good at telling someone, hey, I want this to happen. Could you do this? I don't like when this happens. Can you do this instead? I'm good at that. I'm not good at just saying to someone that really hurt my feelings and they're not, and like letting them choose the solution. You know what I mean? Like letting them take that on and decide what they are going to do differently. Even if I have to tell them this is what I would like to happen. Saying to somebody that really hurt my feelings, I don't know. It's very, very hard for me to do. So with the help of therapy, I had been addressing that and just like picking that apart and figuring out why that is. And it's just because I didn't want to be disappointed with whatever the person's reaction may be. I didn't want to tell someone that they hurt my feelings and their reaction not be something helpful, and that their reaction further hurt my feelings or something like that. I don't know, but my therapist let me know that sometimes you just have to have to give people a chance to surprise you in the positive too. You never know when somebody will hear you say they hurt your feelings, and they will actually do something good about it, and make things right and prove to you that they are a person who cares about you, or whatever the case may be. So we're doing a little better there. I also learned a lot about myself and emotional abandonment, and that I would choose emotional abandonment sometimes over just letting a person go. I would choose to stay in a place that was not emotionally safe for me because there were one or two other things that I liked about the person. I hate even saying that out loud. Sounds horrible. Will not be doing that moving forward, but it took for me to take a step back from dating to even notice that I was doing that. I have boundaries that I just was not enforcing well enough. And so this time away has helped me to be clearer about my boundaries. And that's another thing. Write stuff down. I feel like a lot of people feel like they have a concept of things, but when you write them down, it makes them real. It makes you have to actually think through articulating the thing that you feel or want, or something you think or whatever. Write them down. Write down the things you want in a partner. Write down the things you refuse to put up with ever again. I have done that. That was very helpful for me. Please know that just because you have worked on yourself does not mean you have the market cornered on emotional intelligence and you are just going to thrive in the next relationship you get into. I would say that maybe I'm open to dating now, but that I don't expect to start dating and it's going to be the time of my life and there will be no conflict and I'll just know how to handle everything, because you don't actually know how well you have done something until it's tested. So I'm just gonna go in expecting to enjoy, with the intention to enjoy, and we will see. We'll take things as they come. If I fail a test or a lesson here and there, I'm a human, okay? I'm working, I'm trying. I'm not a person who talks a lot about being single because I feel like a lot of the conversation around being single that I'm expected to have is how I'm going to not be single, or how I'm going to behave as a single person until I'm in a relationship. And my general philosophy on my singleness is just that singleness is what it is. It's not a seasonal thing. I just exist as a person, and I'm a person who's unpartnered, and that just is what it is. I'm not particularly sad, happy, nothing about that. Like, that's just what it is. So I am just navigating life with the intention of enjoying it, and when having a partner adds to the enjoyment of life, that is when I will have one. That's just the conclusion I've come to. I have been in too many relationships that weren't enjoyable enough for me personally, and yuck. For what? What is the point? Now, I know you're not going to enjoy yourself all the time in any relationship. That's friends, family, whatever. Like, no romantic relationship is going to be 100% enjoyable 100% of the time, but I would like for that to at least be our goal, is to enjoy life, enjoy one another, and things that come up are obstacles to that, and we need to work together to get back to enjoying life. And that has just not been the case with my previous relationships. So I need to do better about looking for those qualities in the next person and not compromising on that. Wow, that did not curl the way I wanted. But many times in many situations, and especially in faith communities, the conversation around being single is about escaping singleness and about how miserable it is and how sad we are and what we can, not sad necessarily, but like how bad we don't want to be single, and how our purpose is to be a wife and we're already somebody's wife and we need to act like it. And I just do not live my life that way. So I don't find myself talking about being single a lot for that reason. I am not trying to escape singleness. I'm trying to make the best of the life that I have. I will still be doing that when I have a partner. I will still be trying to make the best of life, and I want to be partnered with someone who wants to do that as well. I also don't really have a general concept of like a desire to be a wife. Like, whatever a wife is, I don't think about it that much. I only think about marriage when there is someone I want to marry, or I see myself marrying, or something like that. I don't really go about my day just thinking about what would a wife do if I'm not, you know, wifeness only makes sense to me in the context of someone else. So I don't really think about it until there's someone else. And even then, I'm only thinking about how to be their wife. What are their individual needs? Who am I as a person, and how, wow, it turned off. No wonder the curls weren't happening. Who am I as a person? How do I contribute to their life in a way that aligns with, you know, what they want partnership to look like? What kind of wife would I be to this person? What does that even mean? In general, I would just like to meet a person who aligns with my idea of partnership. Like, what do I want in a partner? How does partnership look to me long term for the rest of my life? Like, what do I want partnership to look like? I want to meet someone who aligns with those things, and we create our own definition of what a husband and or a wife are for each other. And if that includes some of the traditional ideas of what a wife looks like, fine. But if it doesn't, I want that to be okay, because it's something that we have created between the two of us, and it works for us, and that don't have nothing to do with nobody else, because it's our marriage. You know what I mean? But that's literally the extent to which I think about marriage. Is just, what kind of partner do I want, and, you know, am I gonna be ready when I meet them? All in all, I'm learning what's most important to me, what I should be uncompromising on, and what to me would look like someone who is worth making room for what they find to be most important. I don't like using the word compromise, because that always seems to come with a sacrifice, especially if you're a heterosexual woman. It seems to come with a sacrifice that is pretty weighty. That means you abandon some part of yourself that you would have found important if it weren't for this person who was promising you some kind of life that you're looking forward to, or whatever. But there are things that I would be willing to forego for the sake of a happy life with someone I really, really care about, and who has shown me that they care about me. So I just call that making room for someone else's needs, as opposed to abandoning or sacrificing my own. Semantics, but they're important to me. I recorded a whole nother 5 minutes, but my microphone wasn't on, so you can't hear anything that I was saying, and I don't remember what I was saying. But the lessons I've learned from spending time away from romantic love and interactions has been extremely valuable. Less lonely than I thought, but I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I want, but ultimately I will know how well I did in that time alone when I attempt to be partnered again. I have to put it to the test, but not tonight. Tonight we're solo. I'm headed out to dinner and a concert. I'm going to see Samara Joy, and I'm taking myself to dinner before the Samara Joy concert. I'm very, very excited. I'm going to go put on my outfit, and I will vlog my evening out so y'all can see how good a time I had on my own. Mind you, this is not, oh my God, this is not my first time going out alone. It will not be my last. I go out alone a lot, actually, because it's fun. And I always end up talking to someone, meeting someone, making a friend of some sort, because that's just who I am. But even if tonight I meet no one, because everybody's going to be on dates and stuff, even if I meet absolutely no one tonight, I'm going to have a good time, because I'm actually going to do something I want to do. And I encourage whoever's watching this to go do the same. And if you're like me and you're single in your 30s, I can't say, hang on, you know, you'll find the right person next year, you know, just hang in there. I don't know. I don't have any encouragement for you on that end. But what I can say is, when you are very intentional about enjoying life, the desire to be partnered may not go away, but it will not be your primary focus. And I understand there are a lot of people who have done a lot of great things in their lives. They've done everything that they want to do, and now they just want a life that they can share with a partner. I get that, and that can be tough. But again, I don't know when you'll find a partner. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know if you'll find, I don't know. I don't have a thing that's gonna tell you to stay strong and this is what you should do to attract the right person. I don't have that for anyone. I don't have it for myself. But you only have one life. Try to live it with the intention that you are going to be happy and satisfied and excited and active and accomplished, or whatever your goals are. Try to live life with the idea that that's going to happen whether you're partnered or not. And maybe your partner will see that and want to be part of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go have a good time. I look very good already. No shade. I need to put some makeup on. So yeah, let me go finish getting ready, and I'll see y'all for the rest of my night. Bye.